How is everyone doing? This is episode 24 of Sit Down with Sniper. It's been a tough one. It's been a tough week, been a tough last couple weeks, but we brought on our guy Steezy to talk about all the times that we've been going through. So we'll get right to it. How you doing, Steezy?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Like you said, it's definitely been been some troubling times with the market, but through my time here, been able to surround myself with some great people like yourself. So I have a great support system, and we're trucking along. Gotta keep the head above water somehow.
No, man, and I appreciate that a ton, man. You're one of my best friends in this space, and it's definitely been damn, I guess I would say a journey, but like you said, man, at least I have some pretty solid people around me, I feel. And I'm not gonna say if it all goes to zero, because I don't think it will. But even when times get rough, like they are now, I know that we have some pretty good friends. But this week I decided to not go the founder route, not go the artist route. I wanted to get kind of back to my roots and go the route of grabbing people from the community that might not have a project, but they've definitely been around long enough to get an outlook on what we do, know how the space moves. They've bought multiple projects, they've seen their fair share of rugs or two. So, Steezy, man, I definitely want to ask you first, when did you get started into NFTs? It don't have to be like an exact day, but maybe a couple months ago, a year ago. When would you say that is?
Yeah, so it was actually so there's kind of a two-part answer to that question. I actually bought my first NFT probably around August of last year, and it wasn't one of these traditional NFTs that you'd find on OpenSea. It was actually one of the NFTs that was launched by Autograph, which Tom Brady is the co-founder of, and I actually was just on the DraftKings mobile app on their sports book, actually, just doing my daily degenning. Kind of shows the roots there of how we transitioned to where we are, but actually was fortunate enough to sort of essentially win the raffle. That was the format they had, and I did that for the first three NFTs that they ever launched, and they were, I think it was something like $10, $25, and $50 were the quote unquote mint prices for those, which was affordable at the time, being a college student, and kind of wanted to, I'd been hearing about NFTs obviously through the whole bull run summer, and it was all over my Twitter, couldn't ignore it, and so kind of wanted to dip my toes in the water, and so that was a great access point to get in, and fortunately had some success with those, and ended up being able to sell those, and then started to actually look into the more quote unquote real NFTs, on Ethereum rather than Polygon, and actually going through OpenSea, setting up a MetaMask, and kind of getting understood with all of that. And my first real NFT purchase was a crypto Mori on November 8th of this past year, 2021. So that was definitely an interesting way to get involved, but was really fortunate just with the timing of everything, and also having the Moris be my first project was I think one of the best ones to get my start in, and really got me introduced to a great network of people, and really helped me understand the whole community side of things, as well as the whole concept of utility, and what that can look like, rather than just holding a piece of art, or as we like to call it, the JPEGs, which is kind of what my initial understanding of the space was. So it was super, super fortunate with that.
Hell yeah, man. I like how you remember the exact day. My man said November 8th is when I got that crypto Mori.
Yes, sir.
That's sick. I mean, I actually know mine too. I think July 13th is when I got my cool cat. So I can't sit here and act like I don't know my exact day too. But that's sick, man. I know that you've been doing this. How long have you been doing this? About a year? Maybe under a year?
Yeah. Since I got that first NFT, it's been just about 6 months now. But I've definitely sort of been I had been investing in Ethereum, just little bits here and there on Robinhood, nothing serious by any means. But followed a lot of the crypto Twitter accounts, and then obviously, like I said, there was that massive bull run, and they started posting about NFTs. So I guess you could sort of say I've somewhat been in this space for a little bit under a year now, but actually involved in with holding and trading NFTs probably just around 6 months at this point.
Well, damn, I'll tell you what, man. Apparently, all it takes is 2 weeks in this space, and you're a professional. So you've been doing pretty damn good. Can't
Yeah, I
beat it.
appreciate that.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem,
that.
man. So for the ones that are listening in, I do have a feeling that whenever we share this, that you will have a lot of your friends listening in. So also my friends as well, but for those listening, what are some things that you did before NFTs that people might not know was your hobbies or something like that? So, for example, you don't have to say, "Oh, I live in da da da, and we always go here on Sundays."
Yeah.
But some people did like trading or getting into crypto. Some people were flipping shoes. Some people were
Hmm.
doing clothing. So were you doing anything before NFTs, or were you just in school chilling and this has been kind of your first community on the internet?
Yeah, no, totally. So I actually throughout high school was super, super into the shoe game. Buying, selling, trading shoes. And I as you know, those communities I think aligned almost directly. I was being from Chicago, the shoe game was super, super popular there. There was events popping up all the time. Going downtown as like a 15, 16-year old and chopping it up with these, you know, adults and hustling, just trying to flip my way up to the next cool pair of shoes. Obviously was in high school at that time, so did not have much money. So was definitely just hustling and seeing what I can do to get that next pair. And the one thing that I think is super super interesting about those two communities, I don't know if you had any sort of similar experience with this, but in Chicago there was a big Facebook group called Cream, playing on the Wu-Tang song "Cash Rules Everything Around Me." It was
Mhm.
"Kicks Rule Everything Around Me," and so I kind of similar to Twitter. I had made a separate Facebook account kind of just for the shoe business. So I wasn't spamming my friends' timelines, selling shoes and stuff. Didn't want to bother anybody with all that, but kind of had essentially in the same sense tried to kind of build my personal brand up on that. And very similarly to NFTs, a major aspect of the market was just credibility and reputation, especially when you're dealing with with shoes, which aren't non-fungible tokens. They're quite fungible. There's a lot of replicas and fake shoes going around, and so your reputation really is all you had at the end of the day. I built up a very solid reputation by doing things the right way. Had a lot of trust within the community and kind of became somewhat of a notable figure in this space. And I think that translated pretty much, like I said, directly to the NFT space in that same sense of, community online. Obviously, it's on Twitter now versus Facebook. But that same sense of building your personal brand, doing things the right way, building that trust and building your reputation within the space, and really just building genuine relationships. So much networking goes into both of those communities and markets. And it's been awesome to build various relationships from shoes, and now with NFTs, and just seeing what can come from those has been awesome to see. And even I have seen some of my old friends in the Cream days on Facebook with the shoes. I've seen a lot of them actually get into NFTs now. And just the other day, somebody who so I'm in the Gutter Cat Gang is one of my favorite projects right now, and a sort of infamous community member. He's been causing some chaos, but it was pretty funny because he actually doxed himself and posted the picture, and I was like, wait, I know you from the shoe game. And so it was very funny to kind of see the mask come off and have it be somebody that I knew from back in the day. But yeah, so I shoe game was really what I focused on all throughout high school, and then obviously wasn't able to do it as much as I went into college, and did a lot of sales internships through college. And a lot of that similarly pulls a lot of different skills from that, I think, translate into this space in terms of relationship building and trying to kind of network in that sense. So, a lot of these things that I've done in the past, I think have helped me a lot getting into the NFT space, kind of understanding how everything works and just kind of how to go about doing things the right way.
I agree 100% because I've been there. I've been in the shoe game, and I was a part of those Facebook communities. I wasn't deep into mine because here in Kentucky, we don't get the best of shoes. We have a decent little Nike spot up in Lexington, but that's not here in Louisville. Chicago definitely was the closest place to us that had some of the best drops. Cannot lie there. But I definitely remember the Facebook days where there were big groups. You definitely had the people that were notable. They would always have maybe the little bit better stuff or the better connects, and I was always so jealous. But that's where I would see, what it meant to for your name to be big. Like it really meant something. You sell one fake, reputation's over. You're shot.
Exactly.
You give any faulty news, any faulty anything, it's shot. So I really learned that, like, as long as I stay solid, I just do what I know, stick with what I know in my circle of competence, I'll be fine. And that's how it worked. And I definitely can see how you transition from that into NFTs. I can see the way you've been real solid. You've been who you are from the beginning since I've met you. You've stayed to the same like I guess you would say standards and everything. You've never seen you switch
Mm-hmm.
up. So I can see that you try to stay to your word and stuff. So I love that about you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny that you mentioned Gutter Cat Game because the next question was going to be, what are some of your favorite NFT projects out right now? They don't have to be ones that you own, but yeah, just any right now. Give me like 3, 4 that you really enjoy, either their art, the team, or you're like, that's a team that I can definitely get behind and I respect their values.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely have a few and for kind of some different reasons with each of them.
Yeah.
Definitely the Gutter Cat Gang is one that I'm heavily invested into and have a ton of belief in the team and everything that they have kind of going on behind the scenes, what they're looking to build and just kind of their long-term plan. It just makes sense to me. And that really even more concretely confirmed what I thought with them just talking with some of my normie friends and kind of explaining, the whole aspect of utility and community with NFTs, because I think a lot of people, just kind of assume it is just a JPEG and it is just a piece of art, and they're, obviously confused why a picture of a monkey or a picture of a cat, is trading for so much money when they don't understand the whole utility aspect of things and how they're those projects and teams are working to drive value back to the holders. But the Gutter Cat Gang has always been one that I go to kind of explain all of that. And pretty much with any of my friends that I've talked about it with, it's kind of just clicked to them. They're like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I understand why they are valued at the point that they are. And so that's always been cool to see. Another one that obviously I love and definitely is more on the community side of things, but obviously they're doing a lot of building behind the scenes still, is the Crypto Ray Rays. Is a very, very, I mean, pretty much is the definition of an organic project. I believe they initially launched back in August of 2021, somewhere around that time, give or take a month or two.
Yes, sir.
But
August.
they, yeah, okay, perfect. And then, of course, we're kind of slowly minting out. People were adopting some Ray Rays every now and then, having fun, throwing them up as their companion to their PFP, and then ultimately took until I believe it was either January. I think it was definitely January when they ended up minting out, and really saw that community fully grow to its max potential. And now, having gone to some of the IRL events in LA, I believe they're planning some stuff in New York, but that really has been one of the coolest communities that I've been a part of. And I think the biggest reason for that is the organic growth and having Twitter spaces like the Daily Wolf was going on for a while. Multiple group chats on Twitter. It's just been so much fun to be a part of, and really is just at the end of the day a fun project. It's they're not trying to be something they aren't. They aren't promising these crazy concepts down the road. they're transparent about everything that's happened so far, and it's, I think for all of those reasons is why the community is the way it is, and obviously starts at the top with Dose, who obviously has been on Sit Down with Sniper, and people have been able to hear from him, and you can really tell, he's genuine about the things that he's done, and he's, really executed on everything so far. So it's been awesome to see. And then another project that, people might think it's crazy that I'm going to say this, just with recent market sentiment surrounding them, but the Crypto Mories is another project that I really do think is super unique and super interesting, and has that super tight knit community. And I really do love what they're doing with the focus around mental health and providing mental health resources to the community. I think that's another one where, you can explain that to a normie, or, a normal person who's not super involved with NFTs, and it just makes sense to them. It's one of those ones where it just clicks, and you understand the value that you're getting back. And especially with the whole community aspect of things, that community is, overwhelmingly supportive. It's incredible to see the way they uplift each other, and, especially as that was the project that helped onboard me into the space. I say it all the time. I truly did get into the space to try and, make some quick money, as I saw people doing that all over the timeline that past summer. And I really do think if I had bought into any other project aside from the Mories as my first one, I don't know if I would have, really understood this whole community aspect to things, and if I really would have stuck around with it, or if I would have just been, a pure trader just trying to make flips. And so that definitely, the Mories will always have a place in my heart, and I really do love what they're doing with that whole focus around mental health.
No, I like that a lot, man. I think mental health is definitely a big thing. I think a lot of people feel the same way. And the thing that is, I think, missing in a lot of communities is the talk of mental health. I mean, yes, we do talk about it, but it can be spoken about more. And people can definitely try their, I don't want to say people aren't trying, but you can always try to do those things in your servers where you add a channel, or just let people know, hey, I think also letting people know, hey, if y'all have a problem, know that my DMs are always open. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
I've always stressed to any of my listeners or anyone on Twitter, like, yo, follower count aside, I don't care how many people I follow, I have following. That's why I've never shut off my DMs. I could easily just turn them off and be like, yo, you can't contact me, but I've left them open for that reason, because I want people to know that if you are feeling any kind of negative way in the mind, you always have a place to DM someone, and that's me. And I feel like that should be a common thing. I'm not saying you got to answer every single DM, but if I do see a DM that starts with someone being sad or something, I do try to read that, and I do try to respond to them, because I know that means something to people, and I would like for people to do that to me if I was in that predicament. And
Mm-hmm.
people have, so I'm very thankful for those people that have helped me. But no, you've named some great communities, man. You know that I'm a big fan of the Ray Rays. We're both great friends of Dose. I do think he's a great example of trying to build a community the correct way. And by the correct way, I mean not going to get influencers and paying for this or that. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't talk about the floor price. He tries to make what he has as simple as what it is, and I love that about it. And it's really helped onboard a lot of people into NFTs. I don't know how many Ray Rays he's given away for absolute free, just because people were saving up for one or they didn't have an NFT. I've given away 11, 12, 13 Ray Rays over time. And that's not like to say, haha, I'm better than someone. It's just like, yo, that's what they're about. Like, it's about, I'm all for having 60. Like, it's not worth nothing if there's people on the outside looking in and they're like, oh damn, that person that has 60 don't even care about other people. No, I want you to rock with this too. So the people I see that really genuinely wanted to be a part of the community, I had no problem in my heart shooting them a Ray Ray or doing a giveaway for the people that want one. So I do love that community. And one that I will mention, I know it's a little controversial right now for what I want to say, is a absolute terrible reasons, but Cool Cats. I'm a big fan
Mm-hmm.
of Klon. I'm a big fan of the team. I love Cool Cats. There's been a lot of controversy or FUD revolving around them and what they do or what they have done. But yo, people always saying, yo, we want the devs to do something. And I don't know if y'all are playing that Cooltopia game, but since the day I started playing it, every day they're working on that thing. And that's what they've been promoting is that game. So they're working on their problems. They're trying to do what they need to. They're going to NFT NYC. I wish them nothing but the best of luck, man. I think they're a great project, and I do feel like they have what it takes to bounce back. I mean, yo, Puma saw something in them, so I gotta at least see him out. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And Klon is one of those guys who, really is one of the most genuine people that I've met in the space. I had the pleasure of running into him during NFTLA, and I, went up to him, tried to have a quick conversation. He was more than happy to chat, introduce me to his wife, the other people that were chilling with us. And it was so awesome to see, somebody who, doesn't necessarily need to act like that. A lot of people, grow a project to that sort of, very successful level, and, they change and they switch up and, kind of maybe will act Hollywood, so to say. And, he was like the complete opposite of that. And, I actually originally was looking at joining the Cool Cats, and, I mean, obviously hindsight's 2020, but, I don't want to, not to say it in a negative way, but got a little lucky, I guess, because they had just announced Milk, and then obviously saw a big run up from that and was priced out. But of course, everything's bleeding out right now. It's not just the Cool Cats; it's across the board. So I really do think that just the way that the team has gone about doing things, I think they've really done it in a good organic way. And of course, just with how genuine Klon is, I do truly believe that they'll be one of those, 5 to even 1% of projects that, will actually have longevity in this space. I know Gary Vee has said something like 95% of projects probably will go to zero. And, I do believe that as well. Just the market can only, sustain so many for so long. But I really do feel like Cool Cats are one of those projects that definitely will stick around. Just with the way the team's gone about doing things, and like you said, Cooltopia is improving every day. It's really it's a cool, fun thing to do, and it's especially, I think one of the coolest aspects of it is that it's family friendly. It is a fun game for if somebody has kids, they can get them set up on Cooltopia and they can have a great time playing it. And so I think it's really cool, and definitely is an innovative game, and to see them constantly working so hard to improve on it, and improve the entire project every day. It's truly cool to see.
Yo, absolutely. And that's what I've tried to I guess really stress to people is I might only be 25, but I understand the power of the people that are younger than me and knowing that they come after me. So being able to teach them something like this at such a young age in a way that they can comprehend it, in a way that they can actually interact with the game and not get overwhelmed. I think that is one of the most powerful tools in the whole ecosystem, is that a kid can sit down and be able to navigate it and show an adult who's never gotten into NFTs how to play this game or what it's about. And they might truly want to dig deeper into it. They might want to learn what runs the game, how they can build a game like this, what the Cool Cats are. And that right there introduces not only the child, but possibly the whole family and friends into an ecosystem that is very friendly. And I think it does have the power to become a household name. And those that know Klon, Colin, whatever you want to call him, that he's a great guy. I mean, I saw him in LA. I met him, saw him several times, was blessed enough to have him sign my shoes in a cool little blue cat. And the thing about Klon was he was never too Hollywood. As like you said, he was never too cool for anyone. I saw him sitting in a corner and people were not gathering around him, but it wasn't in a sense of he's in the corner thinking, oh, I'm better than people. Oh, I don't want to be around these people. I'm higher than them. They're lower than me. He was just trying to vibe and let people get their own time. And I felt like he wasn't trying to take the spotlight from anyone. Anytime I seen him in person, he was never trying to be like, oh, hey, look at me. I'm the artist for Cool Cats. Yo, give me. No, never. He was never like that. And I think a big thing, our friend Javon, who will also be on the podcast from Loser Club. Whenever I met him and his friend Richie at the LA party, them were two bro, them two guys were as cool as the other side of the pillow. You know what I'm saying? Them guys were really chill. I really like them guys. And that's what I felt like these projects needed these people to see out there. Like, as a holder of Loser Club, Cool Cats, projects like that, when I meet them artists and I meet the real founders and I see that they're so loving, I'm like, yo, I'm so glad that I invested into this project. So I might have to look into the crypto Mories, man. You brought up a good point. You know, you said that they have a good ecosystem. I like that they do the mental health thing. So I might have to look into them. I know the market is absolutely bleeding right now. So it is an easy time to get into any project, I would say.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I'm holding off right now, but definitely am going to be trying to take advantage of some of these sale prices because I think a lot of these projects, are just being affected by the general state of the market, and a lot of
Mhm.
people are, rightfully so, sort of panicking and whatnot. But I do think it's going to create a lot of great buying opportunities, and we're going to see a lot of these projects kind of dip under what I think they're valued at.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at well, one question is, do you have any cool pets?
I do not. So that's another. I'm kind of watching both of those right now. I'm nearing a potential price where I might be able to get involved with some of them, but I'm definitely just trying to play it patient for now. Obviously, we're seeing ETH prices like right this second still going down pretty quickly. So but I think I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic with it, but I do feel like we're kind of maybe starting to reach max pain. I say that now, and I'm sure we'll look back at this episode in like a month or two and be like, oh, geez, the how naive we were. But I'm obviously very optimistic on NFTs in the long run. So even if you are able to get something at this point and it keeps dipping a little bit more, obviously that conviction pays off long term, and that's really where you see a lot of people have their big successes, buying in on on a discount, on a sale, whatever you want to call it, and then just diamond hand to get through the ups and downs. There's obviously going to be pullbacks and things like that, but the real winners are the ones who are able to play the long game and pick projects that they have conviction in and show that conviction by holding and helping the team build. I think that's another big part of it is continuing to be an active member in the community, helping support the team and do what you can to make a difference. It's something that the Maurice community said a lot, which I loved, was it's not about what the Maurice can do for you, it's what can you do for the Maurice. And I think when a general community has that same understanding, you're able to see a lot of really great things happen. And having the support for the team really does benefit them. Obviously we talked about mental health, and especially during times like this, a lot of these project founders, having kind of an angry mob come at them for no real reason, it's definitely taxing, and definitely need to show them love and support for everything that they have done so far. It's easy for people to forget about the past when the present isn't looking so bright, but as people say, zoom out, look at the bigger picture, and kind of understand everything that they've done so far for you, and be appreciative at times.
Definitely. And I think a good thing that people can do, and I'm not saying that after this episode or if you're listening that you should stop right now and go do it, but whenever you get some free time, if there is a project that you really support, you don't even have to be a holder of it. I highly encourage those listening to reach out to an artist or one of the founders or just someone affiliated with the team and tell them that you appreciate them and that maybe that if they helped you in any way, maybe let them know that. I'm not saying you have to go praise them or nothing like that, but yo, let me tell you, anytime someone's reached out to me, I'll tell you a good example. Big Matt. I have a friend named Big Matt. He reached out to me, and whenever I seen him in LA, he told me some very positive things about the podcast. He told me that he was a fan, and when I tell you, that literally has set with me since the day he told me, and it'll probably sit with me to the day I die, because of the reason he was the first person to walk up to me in person and actually give me some sort of credit for what I've been doing in this space. And not that no one else has ever reached out to me, because a lot of people are very kind to me and I'm very thankful for that. But the fact that this is a grown man who is older than me, and this gentleman was able to walk up to me and and just be so realistic with me and be like, yo, I really like what you're doing. That right there set with me. And I think just reaching out to these founders and these artists, because I'm nobody. I never want to think that I'm some influencer or someone that's higher than someone, but just reaching out to these people that do these projects, whatever title they have, letting them know, hey, I really appreciate you, or I like what you do, and I just wanted to let you know that. That goes so far, and I promise you, you will bring a smile to someone's faces if you do that. So if you can, next time you get a free moment, anytime in your life, just shoot that quick message, and I promise it'll go a long way. Going
Yeah,
forward,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I think that's kind. I think
No,
more people should do that.
absolutely, man. And you are by no means you are not a nobody. You're one of the true you're one of the true builders in this space, doing things for the right reason. This podcast, provides a ton of insight and information for people, and you aren't doing it, to make a quick bag or something. That you're doing it because you enjoy it, and it's creating a huge positive impact on the space, whether you realize it or not. So definitely want to, show you some love for everything you've been doing.
No, I do appreciate it, man. And I try to stay very clear minded and not try to get that mindset of like, oh, I'm better than someone just because I have a podcast. But that's
Mhm.
always been the main goal from the beginning, is to try to make something that can help not only myself but other people learn and navigate this space, and to another sense just learn more about the people in this space. Like you, for example, I know that you have a lot of people that really either look up to you, they're great friends of yours. Every time I get into a space and you join, bro, people, it's Steezy, and they love you because you just have that genuine feel. And I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I don't even know where I was going with that, but just know that you're a great guy. Just know you're a
No,
great guy, Steezy.
yeah, I appreciate that, man. And like you said, like you never know what one thing can mean to somebody. Like with Big Matt showing you a little bit of love and how much that resonated with you. That's part of why I've always tried to spread love and positivity. On my page, and especially with my GM posts. If those people that aren't familiar, I post a picture of my morning coffee every day. Try and include some little nice note along with it, but you never know what one nice thing can mean to any one person. You never know what somebody's going through in their life. You never know what's going on that day. Bull market, bear market, just saying one nice thing can change somebody's day, week, or even life. You never know what somebody's struggling with behind the scenes. It's like even myself, it's easy to put on a facade of everything's great, everything's going so well, but you really do never know what somebody can be going through. So that's why I always try and the saying, treat people how you want to be treated. I've always tried to ride with that. And I really do feel like just saying something nice to somebody can create such a large impact, especially with even like the snowball effect. You show somebody a little bit of love, they feel inspired to do the same, then they go and show some love, and it just can create such a compounding effect of that. And there's so much toxicity in the world, and on Twitter in general. And so just trying to do my part and do what I can to kind of create the Twitter ecosystem that I would like to see, I guess.
No, man, and that's what I really appreciate about people like yourself, especially you, man. You've always, since I've met you, and I think that's why I've gravitated towards you, not only because we're similar age, but every time I've seen you on the timeline, for one, the coffee thing was amazing, and we're going to speak on that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But you've always been positive, man. I've never seen you tweet and bash someone. I've never seen you like draw down. Anytime you've ever spoke your mind, it's been legit how you feel on something, and there should be no remorse for that or no consequences. That's how you truly feel about something. But you've never pushed out an opinion that has hurt someone. I've seen, at least I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen you attack anyone. You have your own thoughts, and that's that. I know that a lot of us are taught that if you don't have nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. And I really feel like you do that. Usually I see, if you're not saying something nice, then you're usually just having fun with it, and if it's something negative, you're usually not even posting it. So that's one thing I think a lot of people enjoy about you, including myself, and it's caused me to gravitate towards you. I do want to say, with your coffee GM post, I was around you in LA a lot, and I will say
Mm-hmm.
that my man knows his coffee. But it was so cool And I think it was a cool moment for you too, but I don't want to speak for you. So let us know. Was it
Mhm.
was it a very cool moment whenever Kalon asked you about your coffee order?
Oh yeah, no, that was something else. I'm definitely not like a true coffee snob by any means. I'm not going to these different roasteries and looking for Colombian blends with the earthy notes by any means. But kind of I've always just enjoyed, kind of that concept of grabbing a coffee with somebody, grabbing a drink with somebody, and just having sharing that moment. Starting in obviously coffee you can drink at any point, but most typically is enjoyed in the mornings. And something that, really bigger picture, I've never really spoken about this too much, but just, in life, I've never, been too successful in school. It's never been necessarily tailored to my learning strategy or anything. And I've, kind of always, I don't know the best word for it, but kind of dragged my feet out of bed, having to go do school and things like that I've never enjoyed. And, having gotten into the NFT space, it's something that I've really truly enjoyed. And, the people that I'm with, it's amazing, like I was speaking on. And so, the GM posts have really changed my life in a sense because, I wake up looking forward to, grabbing that coffee, making that post and connecting with my friends just, on a, even if it's a quick couple comments back and forth, but just checking in. How are you doing today? All's well. Love to hear it. And then, it's just starting your day off on a positive note. And I really noticed that has created, a lasting impact for how the rest of my day goes. And, I really do think starting the day off with a little bit of positivity with that, does make a big difference in the long run.
It does. It does. I mean, me, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I've seen two people that really stick out to me when it comes to the morning and seeing GM post. Everyone likes to speak on, I guess not speak on, but say good morning, do the wag me and stuff. But two people stick out whenever I see good morning, and that's you and Calcio from the Right Click Save podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Calcio always tries to engage with and interact with his followers, and I feel like you do as well. And I've always found that so interesting, not in a bad way, but in a way that I was like, wow, that actually does get people engaged. Because now that you say it, I'll probably start commenting on your thing more just so I can see it as a sense of just checking in with my friends, because I
Mm-hmm.
always sit back and I'll literally every night and I never get around to it. I'm like, yo, I'm a big fan of DMing people, like 50 friends on a single night, and just checking in with all of them. You'd be like, hey, you good? Or hey, yo, how's everything going? Like, you good? And I'm a big fan of that. And I could probably do that with a GM post or something like that. And I might start doing something like that. I want to, because I love making sure that my friends are okay. I definitely want to make sure, because I mean, there's been times where I've been really down and I was like, damn, I wish someone could check up on me. And I was like, but I could easily reach out to someone too. Like, they don't
Mm-hmm.
always have to reach out to me. I can also, give back that same energy. So yeah, I need to start doing that. You made me realize something. And it's funny that I'm laughing right here because not at what we're talking about, because
Yeah.
someone tweeted at me. I made a tweet for those that are listening and said, so is anyone going to NFT NYC now? Because as y'all know, this is a bear market. And someone replied and said, can't afford NYC anymore. It's NFT Syracuse now. I thought that was the funniest shit on like my whole TL today. So I had to give that some recognition. Steezy, we have been going for a little bit, but as someone who has heard the podcast a couple times, I will say
Mm-hmm.
that you should know that we now have 5 questions at the end. Before we hop into the 5 questions that I usually ask, I do want to say before we transition, is there
Mm-hmm.
anything for the listeners? And like I said, I assume a lot of these will be seen by friends or people in the community that either don't know a lot about you, want to learn more about you. So what is how can I say this? What is one thing that you would like for people to take away from this? What is one thing you want them to know about you? If anything, you might just say, hey, I'm a happy guy who likes coffee in the morning and saying GM. I meant to ask you, how do you feel about this whole space and where it's going.
Hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily say the influencers, but like, so what's, I guess, the to shorten it down, the TLDR, how do you feel about everything going on right now, and what is one thing you want people to take away from this, and who is Steezy basically?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the real one thing that I would want people to take away from this, isn't necessarily about me at all. I think something that, is an easy disconnect that happens, quite frequently in this space, considering, we're on Twitter. Most of us don't have, our real first name as our Twitter name, and most of us have some sort of NFT profile picture, whether it's a cat, a dog, a monkey, a rabbit. It's easy to, I think a lot of people, it's easy for them to get disconnected from reality in that sense and not really realize that it is another person on the other side of that when you're talking to them. It is another person that has a life and a family. And I think a lot of people get disconnected from that reality just because it isn't, a traditional name and a picture of them as their PFP. And so I think the one thing that I would like people to take away is to, always remember that there is somebody on the other side of that, tweet, reply, DM, whatever it may be. And, like I said, treat people how you want to be treated. Understand that these are real people with real lives, and just kind of think about the impact of whatever you're about to do could have on somebody else or your followers, and just try and think about if that is the ethical or moral thing to do, and just keep other people in mind, like you said, like checking in with your friends, the people that support you, support them. It's just the little things like that that really can go a long way. And these relationships that we're building, I'm a firsthand witness of it. You never know what can come from them, and the person that you would never expect something from, the biggest thing can happen from. So that's really the main thing, is just you know be kind to people, I guess. At the end of the day, that's really all it boils down to. It's people say it all the time, it costs 0 ETH to be a good person, and it's true. It may be a little cliche or a little cheesy, but just be kind to people.
I like that. I mean, it's a good point, and I think it's one that, like we said earlier, definitely needs to be shared more in the space, especially in a time like right now, in a bear market where a lot of these founders, artists, and people just even holding NFTs are seeing a lot of criticism, a lot of bashing, losing a lot of money. Please be aware that people are losing a lot of money. Be aware that there are some people that are like myself. I'll use myself as an example, so I don't point fingers at anyone else. I was one of the individuals who was very blessed and very thankful to get in at a very early time, and I was lucky. That's what it is, luck. I was very lucky to get in at that time. So I did not have to fork out some of the money that some people have. There's
Hmm.
people that pay 50, 60, 70, hundreds of thousands of dollars for all their NFTs. And, they might be seeing a red market right now. And so remember, people are on the edge because of that. People are losing money that they've been busting their ass for, or go to their, day job for. So never forget, there are real people doing legitimate things out here, and words, I hate to say this even at 25, but words do hurt. Words do hurt people. And
Hmm.
some people might not feel that way, but hey, not all people are the same. So with that being
Totally.
said, I think that's a great way to end that section. So everyone listening, please be kind if you're listening, and if you don't want to be kind, that's fine. Do what you want to. But going into the 5 questions, Steezy. So like I tell everyone, these are the same 5 questions that'll be asked to every guest that comes on. Super easy questions that are fun and kind of give the chance to have a different conversation with the different people that come on here. So to start it off, I think they are a little harder than go to easy. So to start off with number one, it would be, what is the most important thing in your life?
I would definitely say my friends and family are the most important people in my life. They're the ones that have always stuck around me and supported me. I've had the same very tight knit friend group ever since elementary school, and I'm super super grateful for that. Everybody's had their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we always make up, and it's just the same true group of OGs that have been there from day one. So forever grateful for that. And then of course, my family, everything that they've provided for me and supported me with, it's, I can't thank them enough. So definitely, friends and family for sure.
No, I like that one, and I feel like that's a lot of people's answers for the correct reasons.
Hmm.
You're never gonna be here without your family, and then your friends that you are able to have throughout the times, always having your back. I mean, that's damn near family as well. So I like that answer a
Hmm.
lot, man. So for two, I would say, what is an obstacle that you have overcome that has helped you get to where you are today? And it don't have to necessarily be only NFTs. It can be your life, or it could be NFTs, either or. But I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I would definitely say, like I mentioned earlier, school has always been something that I've, struggled with to some extent. I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was back in middle school, and has brought its own, complications, let's say, with school. It's, I've never been quite tailored to kind of, just sitting down in a classroom and being told things. I've always, um, you know learned much better from actually actively doing things, and kind of started to understand that with my internships and stuff, actually getting out there and doing the work, I learned so much more, and in such a more efficient manner. But um, you know as much as, I struggle with it and things like that, it helped shape who I am, really helped me kind of get an understanding of, the world and the opportunities out there, and kind of where I want to go, and kind of what path I want to create for myself. And so it's definitely, been a struggle, but definitely has helped me shape myself to where I am now.
I like that, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel a lot of people um sleep on the fact that I'm not saying school isn't needed, but
Hmm.
I'm not for the whole high school system and stuff like that of basically just sitting down in a classroom, being taught something for 6 days, having to remember it for the seventh, and then just jotting it down and then repeating it the next week. I'm not really for the whole memory test thing. Never
Hmm.
really learned nothing myself. So I definitely understand what you are saying. And I can say, after meeting you, after always hearing you on spaces and talking to you as a friend, that you are very intelligent. So I think a lot of people understand that school does not measure always the intelligence of someone, especially for someone like you, because I think you're pretty damn smart.
Yeah, thank you. I
um,
appreciate that.
yeah,
Appreciate that a
no,
lot.
no problem, man, no problem. So for number three, I want to say, when Steezy leaves the house, what are at least three necessities that he's bringing with him? So I always, and I should have clarified this whenever I wrote this down, but now I have to tell people, I'm not necessarily saying like keys or wallet, because I feel like them are two things, in your phone, like them are things you have to take with you. Is there anything else? I know Rico keeps like a razor blade and cameras. Some people keep gum with them all the time. I have a friend who always carries cologne with him because he always has to smell good. And I'm like, damn, that is some dedication. Is there anything that you bring with you other than the keys, the wallet, the phone?
Honestly, I'm a pretty simple guy. Usually got my phone and my wallet, but I will say the one thing I've been trying to be a lot better with is, keeping some water with me, trying to stay hydrated. Health is wealth. Been trying to uptick my, you know, my exercise activity, and just kind of being more conscious about, what I'm putting into my body. So definitely my water bottle is one of them. Um, then, get probably probably throw on a nice pair of shoes. And then third thing, let's call it my headphones. I'm a big music fan. I'm a fan of pretty much any genre. I'll get down with some country, even if we're out at a tailgate SEC football. I'll throw on some country music. So music's always been something I've appreciated, and is a great way to connect with people. So yeah, let's go with headphones as my last one.
Dude, I love that. I mean, I do agree. I've heard it so many times that music is the mother of all motivation, and
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of that. I am a big fan of music, And being from Kentucky, I definitely know what you mean with the SEC football.
Yeah.
Country music getting down. Oh, I've seen it so many times at Kentucky and Louisville football games. So man, that
Mhm.
brings a smile to my face. I might have to redo that question just for the simple fact of I feel like everyone's like, damn, I can't say wallet or keys. Damn, I really don't bring nothing else.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm over here shaking my head as you say water as I'm drinking a big red. So yeah, I might need to hop on that hydration thing too.
Yeah.
Number 4. What is one thing that you want to do before you get too old?
Whew, that's a good one. Definitely something that I've been fortunate to be able to do somewhat, but never have really done too much of it. I definitely want to travel more. There's a lot of places that I've always wanted to go check out, and a lot of things I want to go do. I've always wanted to go to Africa. South Africa looks super beautiful. Have always wanted to go there. Australia is somewhere I've always wanted to go. Same with Europe. And definitely have not had the opportunity to do a lot of that necessarily, but obviously I'm trying to kind of work towards that, and definitely is something I'm striving to do before I'm while I'm still active and mobile, let's say.
Active and mobile. I like that.
Yeah.
Nah, traveling is definitely something that I want to do more myself because I have only been to Miami, Missouri, now Los Angeles and New York. So I don't feel like that's too crazy of a list, but I will say I do want to go places like London, um, Sicily, different places around the world. I would love to go to Jordan. That would be a beautiful place to go.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely feel you on that. Traveling is definitely on the bucket list. But now we get to the real good question that I'm always curious to hear for everyone. And whenever I wrote this question up, I was like patting myself on the back, like, yeah, you got this one. So
This is the one.
yeah, you got it, boy. This is the one. This one's gonna hit. If I gave you, damn, I just realized this is probably an awful time to ask this. So you could really, you're about to go in. If I
Yeah.
gave you 200 ETH and you had to spend, it had to be spent on NFTs. what
Oh
are,
man.
what
Oh
is
man.
what are some big purchases or plays that you would make? Damn.
Uh, yeah, that's that's quite the supply right now, given given some of these sales.
Yeah, you could buy 100 cool cats damn near.
Yeah, I think, sheesh. All right, let's go. First off, I would probably grab four more gutter cats, so I could reach kingpin status with the gutter gang. You get some added perks and benefits there if you have five of those. And then I'd probably finish off the sets with those also. So I'd grab the match, or I don't know, maybe I would go matching. See what the prices are looking like, but I'd grab some rats, dogs, and pigeons to go along with those. Probably get those five complete sets. I think I would, just something that I've never necessarily thought would be possible, and I guess in this theoretical now it's possible. I think I would have to grab a board ape. It's just such a cool project. Everything that they've done in this space and everything that I think they're going to continue to do, just being such a pioneer in this space. I think when you think of NFTs, you think of the Board Ape Yacht Club. So I think I would have to go with one of those, and
You
then
still
would
got like
probably,
100 ETH left.
yeah. Yeah, no, I've got a lot of room to go there. So I'd probably ball out, try and get the matching mutant for my ape as well, and then
Still
since
sitting on
I've
like
got
80.
some ETH left over, I'll mix it up. Something that or someone who I've really respected, and still is a growing kind of industry within the NFT scene. I think I would have to go with a Drifter Shoots piece. I think
Mm.
just it's less of an investment, but more of just I mean, his art, his pictures are incredible, and I think he's another one of those pioneers in the space. I think photography NFTs still have a ton of room to grow, and just being able to have seeing the way that he's grown his stuff, coming out of prison and then going all the way to a Sotheby's auction has been awesome to see, and have a ton of respect for him. So I think that's how I would wrap it up, considering I'd, have a pretty solid investment side of the portfolio with, my board, my new board ape, my new mutant, and my 5 gutter cats. So I think I would have to wrap it up with the Drifter Shoots piece for sure.
I like that. I like that. Me personally, I was sitting back thinking, I was like, if cats are like under 5, I'm probably picking up like 10 cats, 20 pets, probably a couple other side deeds, probably 2 V friends. Gonna pick up an Azuki,
Mm-hmm.
might scoop, mm, might
You could
surprise
get
some.
you could
Uh,
get one of everything at this point.
yeah, a me bit.
200E.
Yeah, I was like, I'm scooping a me bit too. I mean, and just sitting and thinking about it, if you actually sat back, I said 10 cats and 20. If I would have just said like 2 cats, 2 eggs, I could really damn near get probably one of each of the top 10 projects
Oh yeah,
that's currently
yeah,
out and be
definitely,
fine.
definitely.
And, and just sit on the rest and then take out the rest of the ETH and buy a cheeseburger. Um,
Yeah. Exactly. Give me some tacos.
yeah, so it wouldn't be a crazy amount, but at least a solid $300 total for all that stuff at 200 ETH.
Yeah.
The way the market's looking.
Yeah.
But Steezy, man, that is the end of the 5 questions. I can't thank you enough. Honestly, we've been going for about an hour, so that really does it. So for those listening in, I just want to stress, I know for the last couple episodes I've been saying something about spaces, this and that. I've also noticed that some of these episodes will and will not have music to start it off with. Look, hey man, I'm not perfect, okay? So I can't I don't have the best team around me. It's like a 1 to 2 man team, and we're trying, okay? We're trying out here. So if you hear music one day and you don't the other, I'm just saying now, I apologize, but just I don't know, turn on some YouTube music in the back and just act like it's me. I would greatly appreciate it. Or just rock out with us and just be like, damn, he's trying. But in all seriousness, we're working on that, and I'm trying to get more steady with it. I want to get to where I'm doing the same thing every week and there's no mess ups. But we're getting there, y'all. Y'all know it's just a work in progress and steady at it. And the second thing was the spaces. With the way the market is right now, I am still doing spaces, but I'm going to be all the way honest. There is no set schedule. I really don't want to keep saying that I'm doing it on this day, and this day, and then turn around and not do it on those days for the few people or however many people are listening in. So I do apologize about that. I will be doing them. So I guess just look out on Twitter if you see me going in a space or see me live, pop in. I do them very randomly. And whenever I get an official image put together of some days that I can actually do, then I'll start announcing again what days will be set. Other than that, Steezy, I wanted to tell you, I cannot thank you enough. But before we go, I want you to let the listeners know and I should have asked you this before, but I'm just going to spring it on you. Are you still doing spaces with Bree or any spaces at all right now?
Yeah, appreciate that. So, me and my very good friend Bree D'Onofrio do our weekly spaces, Breezy and Friends, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. That is 2 p.m. Eastern, and then as well as that, I am on the day or on the AMGM Jam with my 2 good friends Jeff Govea and Rudy Rude Dog. That is every Friday 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And the AMGM Jam is also every day, Monday through Friday. So definitely come check it out. Come hang out with us. They're both very interactive and open panel spaces. We'd love to have you all come and hang out with us, kick it, talk anything from NFTs. I believe today's prompt was which Power Ranger would you want to be? So, you never know what you're going to get in the spaces, but they're always a good time. I can guarantee you that.
No, they are definitely a good time. Every time I hop in one, I'm having a fucking blast. And every time I hear you and Jeff and Rudy, Bombo, it's always just a fun time, man. I've always had fun. I see y'all every morning or at night whenever they're doing the highs and lows. So I
Mm-hmm.
do want to encourage everyone, check out Steezy on Twitter. Steezy, what's your ad name? Do you know?
Yeah, it's at Steezy Sloth, Steezy Sloth. And please drop me a follow, hit me with a DM. I'm an open book, and would love to see y'all on the timeline or on my GM posts.
I can't wait to get my man Steezy a solid 2 followers after this. You know what it is. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on, especially at such short notice. Those that are listening to this episode, just know that we did record this the same day that you are hearing it. I never do any editing. I'm a one take kind of guy. We got it good, and then we just push it out, and we are just like, yo, there it goes. That's why sometimes you may or may not hear the music. But once again, for the last time, Steezy, I can't thank you enough for coming on here. And for everyone listening, yo, this was episode, what we say? This is our Kobe episode. So episode 24.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much, man. I hope you have a great day. And is there anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, appreciate you having me on, man. I've been dying to get on one of these episodes, so I was stoked when you hit me up and offered it. Yeah, I think final note, like I said earlier, just be kind to people, treat people how you want to be treated, and it costs 0 ETH to be a good person.
No, that's a fact, man. And remember, y'all, just stay positive. Even in a bear market, remember you do have great friends that you have met along the way. And if you're in it for that reason, just don't forget, yo, they're always by your side. Or if they're real friends, they should be. And if you need me, DM me. My DMs are always open. I'm always free to talk. Go give Steezy a follow. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy your week. This has been episode 24, and we will see you next Monday. Peace out.